Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Recovery Concepts Daily Recovery Snack, Friday, February 27th. Giddy up. We made it through another one. Outstanding. I hope this finds everybody well, warm, safe, and grateful. Let me get my glasses on here and we'll jump in. Getting back into God Grant Me. Just kind of staying in there a while. I've gotten a little bit of feedback, and I believe this is the book that I'm hearing that we're kind of happy with. Like I said, I can bounce back and forth. God grant me in 24 hours a day. God grant me 24 hours a day. I can move around a little bit if y'all want to give me any kind of feedback. But what I believe I'm hearing is God grant me for a while. So let's dive in. 27th February. Man, how time flies fast. Quote for the day from Robert O'Brien. All doors are hard to unlock until you have the key. When we were using alcohol or drugs, our addiction was like a door we could not open. We could not fix our lives until we found the key. The key was simple once we found it. The key was surrender. Surrender means we give up fighting with our addiction. We stop fighting to control how much we use alcohol or drugs. We stop fighting to control what happens when we use. We admit that these are fights we cannot win. Alcohol and drugs simply beat the life out of us. We need to give up. We need to walk away from the fight. Once we found the key and surrendered, we started to feel better. We found out that we are not losers in life. We are only losers when we fight with our disease. None of us can control disease, but we don't need to let it control us or beat us up either. We can avoid the fight by staying sober. Prayer for the day. Higher power, help me pick my fights in life. Help me fight for good and right things to make the world a better place. Remind me that picking a fight with my addiction is a stupid choice. All right, I like that. Today's action. I will make a list of the ways I have become a winner since I surrendered in the fight with alcohol and drugs. I will read the list to my sponsor. I love how this book kind of keeps you in contact, or at least suggests that you talk to your sponsor on a daily basis. I think that that's pivotal, important, and almost mandatory, although we don't like rules. My people don't like rules. But I think it's in early recovery. In early recovery, we do it because in my opinion, in my experiences, I don't know what the hell I was doing. But that's what they said to do. And when I did these things seemed to not be the shit show that they once were. So, but I love how they kind of boost you on to do that. You know, over time, if you're lucky, your sponsorship turns into a different kind of relationship. And I don't talk to my sponsor every day anymore, but he's a good friend of mine. And we do keep up. But I could talk to him every day. Wouldn't be a problem. But for early recovery, I think it's pivotal for people starting that journey to be around and communicating and sharing with people who have been in the journey for a while to help them wander through the weeds, so to say. I love that. It says here, we could not fix our lives until we found the key. The key was simple once we found it. We had to surrender. I think that that's important too. When you stop fighting, if you stop fighting in a situation, there's no longer a fight. But that was difficult for me. I believe it's difficult for most, just to give up and say I'm not going to do it anymore. Especially if it was something that was a life-defining characteristic of you. Again, I started early and kept the train running for almost 30 years. And it was a defining characteristic of who I was. It wasn't so much what I did, it was part of who I was. I got a friend of mine that talks about that a lot. And it was really, really hard to go through the process of not quitting a habit, so to say, but changing a dynamic of my existence because of the choices that I made at early ages and the way I chose to conduct my life for, by the time I started trying to get cleaned up, you're talking 80% of my life. You're talking 10, 11 years old to 40 years old. That's a 75, 78% of your life. That's a long haul. So surrender means we give up fighting with our addiction. We stop fighting to control how much we use alcohol and drugs. And the big one for me, we stop fighting to control what happens when we use. What happens. I never wanted to stop drinking and drugging because I couldn't conceptualize a Chris without it. I could not do it. I did not understand who he would be, who would like him, what kind of fun I'd be able to have, or who would want to be in a relationship, what woman would want me. If I'm not fun and funny and cute and can dance, that's all the things, that's kind of, far-fetched, but it felt like, it was liquid courage. It was social lubricant, so to say. I've heard it called a lot of things, but, I, I never wanted to stop drinking and drugging because I didn't understand that the presence of a life that I live in now and the way that it is, I didn't understand this was available because I never ventured there when I was young. I just went straight from awkwardness and early puberty and all that and discomfort and a little bit of not dealing with some things that went down in my life early on in a healthy manner to I found alcohol and drugs. That was it. That was it. I was off to the races, man. But I never wanted to stop drinking and drugging. I wanted the ramifications of the things that occurred when I drank and drugged to stop. And those are the things that got out of control that I could not make stop. And addiction for me was I couldn't tell you what day that was going to happen. If I could tell you what day I was going to get in trouble with the law or have a fender bender with a car or crash a job or a relationship or whatever, I wouldn't have done it that way that day. I wouldn't have went and got a fifth of Jim Beam. I'd have went and got a 22 ounce of Miller and tried to calm it down and keep it slow and low that day. Addiction is, it's possible, it could be coming, it could be today, but you don't know when it is. But yet you do the actions anyway. That's nuts. For me these days, that's nuts. So anyway, like, share, subscribe. Please share, please share, please share. Because if you got a friend, tell a friend, whatever, trying to grow the base. I appreciate y'all being with me. Have a blessed day. Come on back, Lord willing. We'll do this again Saturday morning. Take care. Bye.